Yes. It's great that you created a conduit for local talent to be heard in the city. What would the
It's really gone beyond that with the internet. It's been about a decade or so at least that now that we're on the internet, and that brought in all of South America, Hawaii, Kuala Lumpur, Australia,
Rome.
Japan. Little Joe Washington got a gig in Japan because they heard him on our show because it's prime time over there.
he just died recently, didn't he?
Yeah, just died.
Yeah, that was sad.
And a lot of other people. There was a band for years called Clandestine
Oh, I love that.
that was kind of the home band for McGonagall's Monkey Duck, and they got so popular in Europe on their own, but people could listen to it on the station and get an idea. So somewhere the spark hit them through word of mouth, what they could pick up from the station on the internet and stuff like that. And the festival, the Celtique, which is started in 1763 and has gone continuously since, unless they were having a war. That was the only band from Texas that was ever played there, and they billed them from Texas, not from the U.S. So, and they were fabulous, and they aged and went and got families and stuff like that. So they're no longer playing, but EJ is still building bagpipes. And, I think it's look up smallpipes.com, and you'll find him. He's a world class pipe player. In fact, for a lot of years, the bagpipe competitions in Scotland held every year were won by, well, one Texas guy won it 3 years running, at least. And when I mentioned EJ's name, oh, I wish EJ was playing with us. He saw it. and they heard my voice. This is shortly after we'd gone on the internet, and they heard my voice, and they said, "Your voice sounds familiar,"
It's a very distinctive voice you have.
And
Both of you.
We used to get a lot of calls from Scotland when we were on Sunday morning. And Australia. Would be here, oh, it's 32 outside, and they'd call, oh, it's 107 in the outback.
Or I'd give a weather warning. It's hailing here with tornado warnings, and I'd get a call. This is before I snapped what the internet was doing for us, and he says, "It's really doing that there?" And I said, "What do you mean there?" He says, "The tornadoes, the hail, and all that." And I said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Where are you?" And I said, "What's it doing where you are?" And he said, "Well, it's sunshiny and about 50 degrees. And they were calling from Scotland.
Are you both from Houston?
I'm originally from San Antonio, but we're both from Texas.
I've been in Houston. Yeah, we're both from Texas, and I've been in Houston since 1956.
And I'm here to tell you, he's doggone near perfect.
We've been married 37 years, so.
Oh, congratulations!
That's
Wonderful. That's wonderful news. That's great. It's great having Texas announcers on a station. It's great having people that are from the area.
Well, I've been here over 40 years. Don't add that up.
I'm bad with math.
Anything right now, the way it was just us for so many years, and finally we ran into Lisa. We tried to get other people that could fill in, because it was really, we were doing 46 to 48 shows a year, which is one a week, because that's what everybody gets except for work.
Well, except when we were doing the 3 a week.
Well, yeah, so it adds up. But now we've got a team of people that understand the concept of what we're trying to do, and it seems to be really working. And Lisa's bringing in young blood that we haven't been able to keep up with. So we got a combination of the old and the new. I hope it just keeps rolling.
And we're hoping that when we retire, she'll take the show for us.
She speaks glowingly of you both, and I was like, I gotta talk to these people. Is it possible to talk to them? Because, oh, they're gonna be coming out tonight, so make sure you bring your camera. I said, okay. So I'm here.
I should have worn makeup.
No, you look great. You look fine. You both look great.
Well, I really haven't worn much since I was in my 20s, so I don't really have much anyway.
They said you had some.
About the only thing I have is eyeliner.
Okay.
You said you had some questions about the station. Just quick review. The house that you're in was built by one of the original owners of Humble Oil, which is Exxon, in 1910. It's got a basement, believe it or not, here in Houston.
Really?
Yeah, it's right behind you there.
Yeah, it collects water in the corner, and I'll fix that.
This place is a basement.
There's a
Oh,
basement,
yeah, and of course an attic.
Attic, big as some people's houses. But it went through several hands, and the station picked it up in '72, and it's been home ever since for the station.
You know what I thought this place was when I first came here? I thought it was a fraternity house.
Kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
I was like, there's a college near here, right? Like
Well, the stucco on the outside, the stuff is not authentic to 1910, but when you look around the house, there's some of the doors, most of the doors, the walls, the ceilings, everything like that may have been replastered or something like that, but it's the same design inside, and they've had to redo the wiring and stuff like that because the wiring from 100 years ago just didn't cut it anymore. And there's satellite dishes in the backyard.
Yeah, you know what? I looked at some of the wires outside, and I could have swore it said Edison.
And the 2x12 wall of wood in the front is a result of a rifle shot through the bulletproof glass that used to be there.
Well, we've got a history. We were bombed off the air twice in the 70s. There's a story. If you go up the staircase here, there's the transmitter they blew up and everything.
Halfway up there on
What happened?
landing.
With the history, well, KKK didn't like it because there was black Jews and just anybody
Gay people. Of course, we
being
called
on
them
the air.
queers then.
And there was the Grand Dragon in California had finally admitted to it because the statute of limitations had run out.
Wow.
But apparently they tried again, and the guy got stopped. I believe the story was he got stopped in New Mexico, and they checked him out and found explosives in the car, and the whole thing unraveled. He was coming back again, so. And they used to pepper the door with pistol shots, and finally somebody put a high-powered rifle shell through the control room window. It was on our old time slot, but the lady that was on it went right behind her head. You might take a picture with your camera. There's still a bullet hole in the entrance, the first door going into the studio. The glass, the plexiglass is still got the bullet hole through it. But they ended up putting 2x12s laid horizontally.
Because it had bulletproof glass there.
To stop anything else.
It's so unbelievable. It's so crazy.
Well,
Wow.
the amazing story was about, I guess, 2 years ago now.
Didn't they donate some of that?
Yeah, they came in. They said, we used to throw bricks through your windows. It says, now we bought a brick and it's wrapped in $100 bills and handed it to the manager because they finally got the idea, because KKK even had a show here at one time.
What?
I mean, everybody. We've had Kurds, we've had Bollywood music.
What was the last one that they were so kind of nervous about?
Oh, it was Al Qaeda America, Al Qaeda English. whatever it's called. A lot of people,
Al Jazeera?
Al Jazeera.
Okay.
There you go. And
We
This has
let
been a
everybody
dangerous-
talk.
This is a dangerous place. So
yeah, there's a lot of controversy, but that's the way the world is, and it all kind of focuses when you put it in a small spot like this that tries to cover as much as they can.
It might sound like I'm paranoid, but I'm sure that I'm one of those people that the government is listening to my home phone.
We know we know our names are on their list just because we're
Yeah,
here.
I'm sure they've got a file on me somewhere. I'm sure it's the most boring file they have.
They might have backed off by now, but there were so many years there where they were trying to take away our license and stuff, or
But I'm sure Bush
just anything
said,
they could.
listen to her. I want to know what she's saying.
But our thing has been quite non-political. The music may not be, because we play what we think ought to be heard, but do we do a lot of commentary and stuff like that on the way things ought to be? We're not that way. It's about the music.
So you both have seen some real amazing changes here.
Yeah.
Few
We've had
wars.
that guy in our studio.
These
We
are
tried to get
people.
him out.
These are people up on the wall that you
Yeah,
compare the
if you
picture.
see
If
them,
you see
call the
them,
police.
you call the police.
Don't let him in.
'Cause they've tried to break in with knives, and if they do get in, they cause all kinds of havoc. So they're
I'm sorry.
kind of a wanted list up there. Just
Actually,
'cause
it's an unwanted list.
a lot of folks. We're surrounded by most nights a lot of musicians and stuff like that, but a lot of the people that do shows, they're here by themselves or they're here with one other person, and so got to kind of watch out for yourself, because people will try to strike you at a weak moment with like the rifle shots and stuff like that.
God, it's crazy.
And the people that ran over the girl,
Well, they didn't do that because of the station, but that was.
no, she jumped out of the moving car.
Have there ever been protests outside this place?
Oh yeah, even
Usually not during our shift.
even Pacifica protested us because there's political turmoil like in any organization, and they thought we were playing too much music and not enough political talk shows.
Nobody at this station has the same agenda. Everybody's agenda is different.
And the station doesn't tell you what your agenda is.
No, you get to pick your own agenda. But you
You
come
come-
to a meeting and you will find that nobody's agenda is the same.
Everybody's got their spot, and they can do what they want with it once approved.
Has anybody accused the station of communism at one point?
Oh, yeah, and it's been true. There
It's
have
funny.
Oh.
been communists
It should be like a
here.
Like I say, there's been just about everybody represented because that's the theme of the station it is a community radio station in every which way of the word.
And they don't discriminate.
Whatever's in the community, if they can put an organized show together, the station won't tell you what to say or anything like that. They just tell you this is what the FCC says you can do, and
As long as you don't say those 7 words, you're in, Jack.
So it's been like a bastion for free speech.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Free speech radio, that's what it was known as for years.
They told us when we had the window there that we could get naked in front of it. Now, I'm smart enough not to do that, but I have permission. Not from the people that are running it now, and they might throw us out if we did it, because they are not the people that told me I could do it, but I do have permission, however old it is.
Look, it's been
I'm too proud.
We had a guy talking about protests, we had a guy back up to when the windows were still there before the rifle shot, backed his pickup truck up with a sign saying that this was all phony. I had 7 people in a song circle playing live in the studios, and he said that was all recorded stuff and we were just making it up.
Of course, you can't see it from the window.
Right. And we weren't about to let him in because it's against regulations for one thing. But he sat out there all night, came back the next week and sat out there all night, swearing up and down that it was all phony, even though you could sit there and listen to it live on the radio. I mean, when you see through the window, you can see us talking to somebody. We weren't just talking to the sound booth window.
There should be a movie about this place. I mean, about like all these crazy instances, like people with guns and rifles and protesting, and it just sounds like a black comedy.
Well, being bombed, we're the only station in North America to ever be bombed.
Really? How much damage was done?
It wasn't here at the site, it was at the transmitter site. They would destroy the transmitter each time. And it was devastating. I mean, they would have somebody that was fairly well trained in explosives, because they hardened it one time and they found out a way to shove through and manipulate it through the air ducts. They took the air conditioning system, because it takes a lot of air conditioning to keep the transmitter cool enough, because it's 100,000 watts. And they got it right over the thing and set it off.
I think that guy should go for another hobby.
But like I say, you take a picture of the transmitter. It's right upstairs. So there's the brick that the KKK bought with the photocopy of the $100 bills wrapped around it, sitting up there too. It's right at the first landing on the staircase.
I gotta get a shot of that. Look, I'm out of time. Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure. Thank you so much, both of you. So nice to meet you both. An honor. This is really good. I wish I could interview more. This is great stuff.